Flight Tips and Tricks, Part 2. Well, I'm back with a little bit more to share. Yes, the task of packing one's bags. It can be tedious, it can be time-consuming, it can be downright confusing if you don't know what you want to take. Or maybe you have too much, like me, I often do. And packing is just such a chore, but there are some tricks and tips I have that I could share, and if you have any, feel free to leave a comment. Alrighty, Roo, starting with the carry-on. This one's a rather big one. Usually this thing gets to go to the checked baggage where they put it inside the plane rather than stowing it above my head. It's always nice to have a luggage scale packed. If you're traveling light, like I tend to for a short trip, you don't need to pay for baggage. If you're a smart packer, you don't need to have an extra suitcase that you pay for. But recently I've decided to go with a larger carry-on and use my book bag as a personal item, which works. It's about 22 inches, so 22 by 16. It's about 8 to 8.5 inches in depth. That's pretty much the biggest carry-on you can have that goes through checked baggage, and there's no problems fitting it overhead. Unless it's a small plane, then it's guaranteed going under the plane, the checked baggage. On larger planes, my big carry-on tends to become checked baggage. I don't mind because half the time when I have a layover, I like to get to the gate fast. Sometimes I have no choice, being that, there will be times that you gotta run. It's a personal item. Your carry-on is free, which is the big one I just showed you. And this little guy here is he can get pretty fat if you stuff him. That's the trick. Don't overstuff. That way he can fit under your seat. I'm calling it a heat. What's up with that? When you're running around the airports, candy's always something nice to have. If you get like a bunch of junk candy in the cupboard that you forgot about for a long time, that's usually a good backup. Oops. If you need energy, eat some candy. Okay, I've become a little bit more of a germaphobe. One way to get yourself prepped for a flight is eat lots of fruits and veggies. I have no choice, being that I'm a vegetarian. Vegan, actually. I like to eat chocolate as a treat when I travel. I don't usually get to eat chocolates. It's not really part of my diet. Ooh, look at that. It was only 50 cents. I have a secret store I go to. Dark chocolate has antioxidants in it. It helps boost the immune system. Pretty sure it won't get melted. Usually planes are cool enough. Garlic! You gotta eat some garlic. Trust me. This is the same brand of the cup of soups that I like to take once in a while. Again, I don't eat these very often, but when you're on the run, they actually come in pretty handy. Sometimes I'll treat myself to something special at a layover that's exceptionally long, but other than that, I really don't like buying food. I pack chips and stuff. We can't bring any liquids. It sucks that it's come to that, but I have a solution. Anyone who's a coffeeholic like me, and you need that pick-me-up, pack some of these bad boys. Instant coffee, and yes, they do have caffeine. Flavored like mocha, caramel. Refreshers are mixed in there too. Made from natural energy from green coffee extract. Coffee's not your thing. There's always tea, mulling spices for something different like in the fall. How do you achieve getting your hot water and all the fixings, utensils and stuff without feeling like a cheapskate? Well, don't feel bad. I mean, you're still going to be looking around for stuff, perhaps like something special like a soup that you really want to try. I mean, go for it. You don't have to be totally cheap. It's just that it's nice to have something like this on hand. Just politely go up to a cafe or a restaurant if you see they have machines that provide hot water and have coffee cups on hand. If you're polite enough, sometimes they won't even ask. They'll just give you what you need. They don't usually charge. I've only gotten charged maybe a couple times, and it was puny, just a few cents, nothing big. I mean, a few cents is better than paying, what, $5 for one measly cup of coffee? That's quite a difference, right? Thank you. If you're like me and you have random ideas at any given moment, or you have something you think of and you have to jot it down, or maybe you meet someone who has professional skills that you are in sync with and you want to maybe contact them, who knows, anything could happen. Always have pens and pencils with you. Mechanical, because, can't really sharpen them. Us creative types, have to have a sketchbook most of the time because you never know when the creative inspiration tends to strike. Screaming baby, solution. Think about how much shopping you might be doing and consider the space you'll need if you are, in fact, getting things and bringing them back with you. Security checkpoint. It's such a hassle getting to it and then, oh no, I have to get everything out. Always keep in mind that you need to have your liquids together in a bag that's clear. Take it out so it's ready. Sometimes I don't even bring liquids. At the very beginning of the security checkpoint, take off your belt, take off your shoes, but stick your feet in them. That's what I do, so I can just kick them off real fast. Jewelry, you don't have to really worry about unless it's like a big beret or barrette. Necklaces, avoid wearing them to begin with. Hello, you can put them on later. Take off your coat, your hoodie, whatever you're wearing, it's a jacket, get it all stripped up. Put it on top of your carry-on if it's big enough like mine. Larger airports sometimes get a little bit of an attitude, not all the time. But in my experience, they don't like it when you take too long, so get that stuff ready ahead of time, and it saves some grief for the people behind you. Hopefully they're doing the same. They see you doing it, maybe they'll do it, and domino effect, that'd be really awesome. But this is not a perfect world. I mean, lines would go so much faster, but duh. In summation, just strip down before you even get up there, carry as much crap as you can, and it goes pretty smooth. Yeah, it's kind of a pet peeve to see people not be ready when they get to the very front of the line and you stand and wait. I don't get it. It's like, you had so much time. Duh. Depending on what you're packing, if there's anything breakable, I find rolling clothes. I'm not doing it with my own because I don't want to get up, I'm lazy. Rolling your clothes up in your suitcase or carry-on tends to be more protective as opposed to laying them flat. You can use your best judgment. You can do half and half. I don't know. But it all depends on what you're packing. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, with wrapping things in your clothes. Take them out of packaging. Use your clothes to protect them. Now this is going to make me sound like a super organization freak. I'm not really like that all the time. But when it comes to the personal bag, there are several pockets inside pockets and pockets inside of those pockets and beyond, plus the big one for the computer, right? Well, when I pack it, something smells like perfumey. When I pack this, I make sure I pack in order of importance or relevance of which I'll be needing something more often than others. The stuff I won't be needing so much goes in the bottom of the bag, and so on. You get the point, right? If you're like me and you're sensitive to temperature changes in both layovers and on the airplanes, which tend to be pretty cold, can you handle wearing a coat over a hoodie, or maybe just the hoodie over top of a shirt, your pants, whatever socks you need, comfortable shoes, and you'll be stripping or putting layers on? I know when I'm running from gate to gate, I tend to sweat. Call me old-fashioned, but it's always good to have a backup in case your technology is down or didn't get to recharge at the one layover. You might want to have this, a book that you're currently reading, or anything else that would occupy your time. I mean, technology can be a letdown sometimes. You need to consider, what is your backup? If you're like me and you can't sleep on a plane, it can be downright boring. Well, that covers what I wanted to share. This time I get out of here, my butt went flat. Does anyone sit for too long and you feel like your butt's flatter than it is? That's me right now. I have no butt. Somebody talk back to me, I'm lonely. Okay, I just had to get that out. Have a nice summer, everybody.